What's happening, everybody? Hope you're doing good. I'm not so good. I got headaches, leaking nose, leaking eye. I don't know what this is, man. This is crazy. I don't know if it's a flu or maybe some sort of incurable disease. Yeah. So that's why I'm wearing glasses, because this eye is completely red. Anyway, I hope y'all doing good. It's again bad for Americans right now. Americans have been asked to leave a country named Chad. Have you heard of Chad before? Yes, this is Chad. No, I'm not talking about Niger. This is Niger. Niger is the country where they asked American troops to leave a few weeks ago. Okay, this is not Niger. This is Chad. It's a neighboring country. So after the Nigerians asked Americans to leave, now it's the turn of the Chadians. The question is this one. When Niger asked France to leave, French people left Niger and went to the neighboring country in Chad. They could count on Sergeant Chief A.G. Kosei of N'Djamena to accommodate them for some time, because after French people left Niger, they went to Chad to sit for a little bit before they proceeded. In a letter dated on April 4th and signed by General Amin Ahmed Idris, the Chief of Staff of the Chadian Air Force, N'Djamena has asked the United States of America to immediately cease its military activities at the air base. Here it is, fellas. African countries are kicking Americans out. Considering that they have not provided a document justifying the presence of their force on the site, and to threaten in addition to denounce the agreement on the status of American troops. They need to provide justification to why they are in charge. Never happened before, never seen this before, but it is happening. Again, Niger kicked French out, they left. Niger kicked Americans out, they have decided to leave. Now Chad is asking Americans to leave. According to CNN, the US Special Force SOTF is primarily targeted. This is actually present on the N'Djamena base, considered to be important hub for counter-terrorism and intelligence activity in the region. So Americans are justifying their presence in Africa, especially in that side of Africa, the Sahel region. I'm trying not to show you my eye. Because they feel like terrorism is going rampant. And in order for them to protect America, for some reason, they have to be in Africa, in Chad, in Niger, where they run some of their intelligence activities, flying drones all over Africa, seeing what's happening with the African bad people. And this is crazy because just in January this year, General Michael Langley met with General Abubakar Abdelrakim Daoud of Chad. They had a discussion. The Chief of Staff of the Chadian Army. General Abubakar Abdelkarim Daoud is the Chief of Staff of the Chadian Army Force. So they had a discussion, but I don't know. Do you think this is because some of the African countries are kicking Americans out and others are copying very quickly? You know what? Maybe we also need to review our relationship with Americans. What do you think? Now, the Pentagon has reacted. The Pentagon said on April 26 by its spokesperson, General Pat Ryder, they confirmed the departure of American Special Force from N'Djamena. N'Djamena is the capital of Chad. They say 75 operators and added that they would thus reposition themselves outside Chad as part of a re-examination of the modalities of security operation with the Chadian authorities.
So, as I understand it, as talks continue with Chadian officials, U.S. AFRICOM is currently planning to reposition some U.S. military forces from Chad, a portion of which were already scheduled to depart. This is a temporary step as part of an ongoing review of our security cooperation, which will resume after Chad's May 6 presidential election. So again, we'll keep you updated. I would refer you to State Department to discuss, the diplomatic sides of this, but that's where we stand right now.
So what I'm seeing here is they're asking Americans to provide justification for their presence. An African country is asking Americans, please show us why you need to be here again, because you won't stay here forever, right? And now Americans are saying they need to reposition themselves outside Chad as part of the re-examination of the modalities of security cooperation with the Chadian authority. So they need to re-examine the modalities. How do we react on this position? So my question is this, fellas. Let's go back to history very quickly. Great. So some time back, Niger, we're going to start with Niger because we don't want to go all over the place. Niger asked French people to leave because they were tired of them.
The competent Nigerian authorities have decided to withdraw their approval from Mr. Sylvain Ité and to ask him to leave Nigerian territory within 48 hours.
There were French soldiers stationed in Niger alongside Americans. So after French people trying to resist a little bit, they eventually decided to leave the country. Americans were safe. They were like, okay, we cool. They just chased the French. We are fine because after all, we Americans. We Americans. Yeah. But then later on, they say, Americans, why are you here again? Thank you very much. We need to pack your stuff and leave because there's no need for you to be here. Americans say, no. We have to stay here. It's for security reasons. We have to make sure we look into the sky and make sure there are no bad people in Africa because these bad people might go to America and destroy. And also, by the way, we are protecting you. Well, Nigerian people did not want to listen to that. They've asked them to leave. Americans have agreed to leave. Now, when the Nigerians chased French people left Niger, took flights to Chad, which is the neighboring country. That's where they stationed. My question is, where are the Americans going? Because Chad has asked Americans to leave as well. They've asked Americans to provide a justification for their presence. And Americans say, okay, we're going to leave. We're going to reposition ourselves. We're not informed where they're going to be in the meantime, but they need to re-examine the modalities for them to be in Africa. I don't know. What do you think about this? Let me put this in your way. The Chadian government was in good relationship with America for a long time. Now, all of a sudden, they've changed because we know they've had a meeting with the Russians. They say they felt like they're too away, they're too far apart from Russia. They like to build a relationship. Do you feel like this chief of Chad is actually being genuine by asking Americans to leave? Is he being honest? Is he now separating like other African countries? Or do you feel he's trying to play a game so his prices can go high, his value can go high, so his negotiation with Americans can go high? You know, sometimes you get upset, not because you want to leave. Sometimes you say to your husband, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm leaving, not because you really want to go, right? Just because you want to push him to go, oh, she's eventually leaving, I'm not going to let her go, you know? Then you can say to him, I want you to build me a house if you want me to stay. Of course, if he's somebody you can manipulate that way, he's going to build you the house you're looking for. And sometimes you really want to go. When you really want to go, then there's no room for negotiation because you've thought about it thoroughly. You don't have time to waste. My question to you is this, fella. Do you feel like Chadian government has always been friendly with Americans and Europeans? We know they had a meeting with the Russians. Do you feel like Russians have convinced them into changing poles to a way and a situation where they would ask Americans to leave for good? Or do you feel like they're just playing both sides, trying to get, as much they can get from each person? Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. Matoba Mudimu, I greet you from all over the place. South African, Sani Bonani, Dumelang, Tobela, Zimbabweans, I see you. Nigerians, Namibians, Somalians, Jebaleko, Basebona Banyabo, Uganda, Rwanda, Amakuru, Nimeza. Kenyan people, I salute you. Tanzania, Shikamo, Nigeria, Ghana, I see you. Thank you very much for stopping by. Wagwan, me boss. I can't forget you all the way from Jamaica. Please, YouTubers just say that you guys watch, but you're not subscribed. Why? Come on. Please drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about this. We want you to interact so the channel can grow. Or else we are wasting the time of the people that are editing these videos for you. Let's work together, fella. Drop a comment. Say something. By saying something, you don't only just push the channel further, you also allow other people to understand that we're dealing with human beings. We are actually a community where we learn from one another. God bless.